What is going on, you guys? I hope you're having an amazing day so far. Happy Friday. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today, guys, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to try to give you guys videos on Friday that, well, relate more to me than tips and tricks. So I'm going to show you things that I do in the game for reasons, or things that, like, won't relate to me Fallout wise, if that makes sense. So today's video, guys, I want to talk to you about perks I can't go without in any of my builds. So in this video, I'm going to cover all the perks that I can't play the game without using. So these might vary based off of your build. I just figured I'd make a little video for you guys about the perks that I use and why. Now in this video, I'm not going to cover every perk. I'm just going to cover the main ones that I normally put on my classes. No matter what my build is, you're probably going to see these perks on my build. So guys, before we get started, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe and press the like button if you find this video entertaining. I'm trying to feel out the process and try to find more videos I can bring you guys that aren't just tips and tricks. So let me know how you feel about this kind of video, and also comment down below your favorite perk in the game. Alright guys, first off, if you've watched this channel for a little bit of time, you know I am big on mutations. So right away, you already know my first perk that I'm going to say I can't go without is Starched Genes. So if you're new and you do not know what Starched Genes does, it makes it to where you cannot gain any more mutations from radiation, but at the same time, your mutations that you have are permanent. As long as this perk is on, you cannot get rid of your mutations. Some chems like Rad-X will actually suppress the effects of your mutations, but it won't actually cure them. Popping one of those when you actually have mutations without Starched Genes will actually remove your mutation. So this is a very important perk for me. As you guys know, I love mutations. I run a lot of them. It's probably one of my, honestly, to me, it's one of the things that I wish was in the prior Fallout games. When it comes to Fallout 76, I think that's the one thing I think is a little bit better about 76 than any Fallout games in the past, and that's the whole mutation system. I feel like if you were to download some mods and throw it in 76, as I've done before, it's a lot of fun to play with mutations on older Fallout games. If you guys want to see that, actually let me know in the comment section down below. I've actually done that. Not recorded it, but I've done that in my spare time. I'd love to make a video on that if you guys would like to see that. So yeah, Starched Genes, number one on my list. It's on every single build I do. Up next, guys, of course, if you know I'm big on mutations, you know the next one is going to be Class Freak. Basically what Class Freak does is it reduces the negative effects of mutations depending on the level of the card. I normally run it at level 3, so it's going to suppress those negative effects by 75%. That is big for some mutations because, as you know, like Marsupial will drop your intelligence, Egghead will drop your strength, and Speed Demon will increase your hunger and thirst. So it is very important to have, for me at least, because I want to make sure that I don't have to worry about those things. If I have Egghead, I don't want to lose all my carry weight because it reduces my strength. I want that intelligence boost, but I also run Marsupial, so I want to make sure my intelligence doesn't get nerfed at the same time. So Class Freak is pretty important for me to run on these classes. Now, you could make the argument as well that you don't necessarily need to have Class Freak in order to run mutations. Just for me in general, I find it much more enjoyable when I have the negative effects of my mutations suppressed and I don't have to worry about, well, essentially dealing with the handicap that they may give you sometimes. It really just depends on which mutations you run and how you play. For me, this is one that I can't go out of. Alright, another perk that is a necessity for me, guys. This one is going to be one that a lot of people use, but there's also another one you can use instead of this. So I'm just going to come out and say Thru-Hiker. Thru-Hiker, if you're like me, you carry a lot of food, Thru-Hiker is a necessity. If you don't know what Thru-Hiker does, it does reduce the weight of food and drink. For me, I run it at the level 3, so it reduces the weight of food and drink by 90%. If you run a carnivore mutation like I do, you know that food is a very big part of your build, and it is very important to ensure you have the food you need to, well, keep applying your buffs. Without this perk, you're probably going to be having to, well, store most of your food in the stash box, or basically have to hobble around over encumbered most of the time you play this game. So yeah, Thru-Hiker. I am going to sub this one out as well with travel and pharmacy. I actually run the chemist mod on my backpack, so I don't actually have to have travel and pharmacy equipped, because my backpack will reduce the weight of chems by 90% as long as I have my backpack on. Now when I get in power armor, sometimes I have to remember that I can't just jump in power armor when I have this on, which I really don't use power armor as much as I used to, surprisingly. So yeah, I'm going to say Thru-Hiker because that's the one I throw in my class. Travel and pharmacy, a really good runner-up though. Both of these perks are really good. If you're having a hard time staying under the weight limit in this game, I recommend throwing one of those on. See if that solves your issue at all. If you're like me and you're running around with 500 Nuka-Cola in your inventory, you're probably going to want to run this just to make sure you have enough space for the rest of your food so you can get those very precious buffs. Moving on, guys, and this is going to be a controversial one. Remember, I made this list catered to me and what perks I cannot go without. If you're like me, you like to farm some things. For me, I love creating berry mintax, which does require a few different plants around the map. I also like to make flux because I have a serum farm at my shop, so I want to make sure I can keep all my serums in stock for any customers that want to come and buy some serums. With that being said, it's very important that I have green thumb on my class. Now I know a lot of people are going to go eye roll here and say there's really no point to run green thumb. For me, the increased number of plants that you pick up when you use this is a big win for me. Now, the reason why I keep this on every class is because when someone drops a nuke, I don't want to have to run and change my class in order to run into the nuke zone. I just want to be able to pop my power armor I already have in my inventory on, run to the nuke zone, kill whatever boss we have to kill, and then be able to harvest my flora without then going, oh no, I could have had double the number of flora I had because I didn't have my perk equipped. That problem is one I never have anymore. I used to run into that issue quite a bit, but thankfully green thumb was the solution to that problem for me. Basically, I had a class that I made for nuke zones, but the amount of times I forget to go change into that class, I just decided to incorporate this in all my classes. And honestly, I have no regrets. It's, in my opinion, one of, I don't want to say one of my favorite perks, but it's one of the most useful perks in the game, for me at least, for what I do. Again, this list is catered solely to me. Let me know your favorite perks in the comment section down below. Green thumb is just on my list of perks I will always run. Now, I know I could also throw in some perks like Radicule or Nerd Rage or something that runs a bloody build. I decided to avoid those because I don't always run a bloody build. One thing I always do though is carry my flamer or plasma caster. My plasma caster is ultra sight, and if you run the plasma caster, you know that it basically prints ammo for you. For example, right now at the time of me recording this video and just checking the number of ammo I have in my inventory, I have 19,562 ultra sight plasma cartridges. Because if you use the plasma caster, as I said before, you know that it essentially prints ammo. If I were to take batteries included off, I would be extremely overweight and I would not be able to move. So I always run batteries included because I always need the energy ammo weight reduction. This is one that you don't really have to use, but again, most of my builds revolve around energy weapons, and having all that ultra sight ammo as well as all my flamer ammo, it's very important to have because, well, I don't want to have to grab ammo 5 at a time, 50 at a time, 20 at a time, however many at a time. I'm lazy, let's be honest. That's the main reason why I have this perk on, is because I want to be able to just keep my 19,000 or however much it was ammo in my inventory. I have way more in my ammo stash box that I get from being a Fallout First member. But you know what? I'm just going to keep carrying a bunch on me because, well, as I said before, I'm lazy. And finally, guys, I'm going to leave you with one more perk that I absolutely can't run a build without. And this is going to be, again, one that not everybody would say, but to me, this is very important because not only do I run a jetpack, I also run a VATS build on all my classes. This is going to be Action Boy. If you don't know what Action Boy does, I have it on the level 3, and it's going to make sure your action points regenerate 45% faster if you have it to the level 3 tier like I have. This is important for me because, again, I run a VATS build, I have a jetpack, I like to sprint a lot. I burn through AP like babies in diapers. I literally have an inventory full of canned coffee that I'm popping non-stop, and company tea. If you ever come by my streams, you'll notice how much I'm literally popping canned coffee and company tea just to keep my AP up. It is crazy. Honestly, the jetpack's probably a bad idea for me to have, but at the same time, I just use Action Boy to get those AP points back faster. Again, it's not necessarily a perk that you need, but it's a perk that I need just because it fits my build, and I won't do a build without it anymore because, well, the AP regeneration is just way too slow for me. I'm impatient. I'm an impatient man. I want to get my stuff done. I don't want to have to wait for my bar to fill up, especially as much as I jump off of stuff and I have a jetpack and I need to save myself from dying from fall damage. I need those AP points back already. Just give them back faster. That's all I need. Guys, let me know if you use any of the same perks down below, and let me know your favorite perk in the comment section down below. Thank you for all the support in the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. As I said, my Friday videos, I'm going to try to make them more personable with me, guys. I want you guys to be able to see how I played a game, how I enjoyed a game. I do have a very fun one lined up for next week, so be sure to subscribe if you're new here to check that out. I'm actually going to give you guys a look on what I would do if Bethesda was like, okay, Vlad, you are now in charge of the Fallout 76. What are you going to do to fix the game? So that will actually be next week's video on a Friday. So if you guys are excited for that, let me know down below. Guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Thanks for all the support. And as always, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Deuces.